my name's Molly Huffman, and I lost a child a few years ago. In 2016, my son Tage was born in March, and he was a healthy and beautiful little boy. And I just thought, okay, this is finally, what I've asked the Lord for all my life, to be a mother. And I was so grateful. Over the course of his infancy, I could tell that there were some things that weren't really lining up. He wasn't making eye contact and making the typical baby sounds that you expect from a baby. And my pediatrician just said, no, you're being a worried new mom. Just give it time, it'll be fine. And something just didn't sit right with me. And so we went to a new pediatrician when he was 6 months old, and instantly that doctor took us across the street for blood work and labeled Tage as failure to thrive. He wasn't gaining weight. And so, of course, instantly there's this rush of anxiety of what is going on, what's going to happen. We ended up going to the children's hospital. And again, I just felt like, okay, it'll be something, it'll be fixed. It's no big deal. Don't worry. And then in our stay at the children's hospital, they diagnosed Tage with a terminal genetic disease, and it's called Lay's disease. They told us that no children have lived to the age of 1 with this disease. And I can remember the room spinning. I remember just crying out to the Lord in the shower that night in the hospital room of, Lord, why? I cannot believe this is the road that you want me to walk. There was so much grief. And so Tage got a G-tube to be able to eat, and we took him home for a couple more months that I describe as beautiful and excruciating, while we tried to enjoy our time with him as much as we could while knowing what was coming. And 2 months later, when he was 8 months old, he went to be with Jesus in my arms, and it was the most pain I have ever experienced. And yet, I also sensed Jesus in those moments. And over the next year, I wrestled with this pain and questions about this God who would allow my one son to die. And I was a teacher at the time, so I had a year of maternity leave that I had taken. So I had all this time, and I spent that year reading through the Bible. It was something I had not done before. And I had nothing else. I'd tried alcohol, I tried shopping, I tried sleeping, and none of those things, sure, they might numb the pain for a while, but I'd wake back up, or the bill would come, the buzz of the alcohol would wear off, and none of them were long lasting. And so I finally decided to try this Bible that I had been raised with. And it was amazing because God met me there. And I cried out to him in ways I had never cried out to him. I saw that lamenting, that being honest with him was part of grieving, that he wanted to comfort me, that he cared. And it was through that, as well as counseling, that the restoration began to take place in my heart. And I learned truths that I would never trade. And I have hope because I know where Tage is, and I know that I'll see him again, even though days here are still difficult. Not as difficult as that first year or 2 or 3 years, but still difficult. And I ended up going through a divorce after that as well. And so the Lord has restored the bitterness and brokenness of my life. I'm remarried. I'm a stepmom to 2 young teenage daughters. And my husband and I have a 2-month-old son named Mac, who is a joy to us. And I am so grateful to know the Lord in the ways that I do now, while still cherishing and remembering Tage and waiting for the day that I get to see him.